All right, hello. My name is Emmanuel. I'm a junior here studying computer science, and I'm here to talk to you about research and career opportunities in and after SCS. So, as you can see, off to my left, I guess my hand doesn't disappear. Off to my left, we have a bunch of research posters. So these are actually from a bunch of projects done by undergrads at CMU. So most of these are from what's called the honors senior thesis. So essentially, what that is throughout the course of your senior year, you get to essentially do a mini PhD thesis on a topic with a professor, and it's like a real thesis. So you get to do all kinds of crazy cutting edge research. If you actually look at these, and you can't really right now, but if you go and look at them in Gates, uh, most of them are about like these crazy topics that I can never understand. They're all like so advanced. They're so like unbelievably impressive. It's like people are undergrad seniors doing like real like cutting edge research in their field. That's one of the things I really like about SCS, is just really easy to get involved in research. So there are a number of different ways you can actually get involved in research as an undergrad. So if you're just starting out as a freshman or a sophomore, so Tom, who you might have met earlier on the tour, he's one of the undergraduate advisors. He every couple of weeks throughout the semester sends out an email of just like essentially a list of opportunities for research for undergrads. And usually it's professors essentially begging, saying like, hey, I need someone to work in my lab. I really need help on this one thing. Please come and help. And it's a really great, really easy way to get involved in research, because professors have so much research they need to get done, so much work, and they do not have enough people to do it most of the time. And so it's really easy to get involved that way. Another way to get involved is you can actually just go approach professors directly. So most professors, if you just like send them email the blue and they're like, hey, like I noticed you're doing this thing, I think that's really cool, I want to work on it. They'll almost certainly respond, even if they don't say like, yeah, sure, like I totally need someone to help with that. They might say like, yeah, I like do need people to work on that, but like, I most people who can help out with that have taken like these 3 classes and you haven't taken those yet or whatever. But they usually will follow up with say like, hey, like even though like you can't work on this one thing, I have another research project that's sort of similar, but I think you'll be able to help on that. Or my colleague is doing X, Y, and Z, and that's kind of similar, and I think you'd enjoy working on that. So I'll like CC them on this email, and they'll hit you up. It's like really, really easy to get involved in research. Like I've gotten involved in research just because I've taken classes with professors, with a professor in particular, and then he invited me into his research group midway through one of the classes. It's really, really easy to get involved in research. It's really rewarding just because it's so different from your classwork. You're doing something without like a definitive answer, and like it's so open-ended, right? Like you get to define what success means. You get to define what failure means, like within reason. But like, it's pursuing something for the sake of pursuing it, and there's not really, no one's done it before, so you're figuring it out as you go, and you're going to learn so much more, mostly from your failures, just because you're like, I tried this and this was what I thought would work, but it blew up in my face, and I think I know why, but you might not even know why. That's kind of always interesting. So that's research. And then sort of pivoting, talking about careers in SCS. So careers are SCS, to put it mildly, are really great. So most people spend 4 years here in SCS. So that usually means they have 3 summers. Most people do internships at least one of those summers. So after your freshman year, that first summer, about 50% of people will get internships. And so those internships can be at like big companies, small companies, startups, anything in between. Some even not in tech. Some people go off and do consulting. Some people do like other types of internships. Sophomore year, it's a little bit more, and junior year, it's a little bit more. It definitely picks up as you go through FCS. So your first time looking for an internship, it's like relatively tame, I'd say. Like usually you reach out to a couple of companies, maybe they get back to you, maybe they don't. Sophomore year, maybe you reach out to a bunch of companies, and some companies will start reaching out to you, maybe, and it's a little bit like kind of low key. And then junior year, it really ramps up, and then all of a sudden companies are just like emailing you out of the blue, like constantly, and you just sometimes don't even have enough time to like actually respond to all of them, just because too many companies are emailing you. It kind of gets crazy. And then senior year, I've heard it's even worse. I haven't done that yet, but uh, I've been told by people it's kind of crazy, just the amount of companies that are emailing you out of the blue. Like, nice thing about going to SCS at CMU is companies value your skill set. So yeah, so a lot of companies do have research and internship opportunities, and those are really great, just because it's like kind of a mix of research and like industry experience. The other thing is a lot of companies do sponsor classes here. So essentially what that allows you to do is do like essentially like more targeted research in a class setting. So one of the classes I'm in is sponsored by SAP, which is a database company. And so they sponsor the class. And so we're able to kind of do more targeted stuff we're doing in the class, and the projects we're doing. It's more project-based class. Essentially kind of have applications towards what SAP is doing. So like databases. But and so like what it ends up being is it's a little bit more like what it would be to have like a job, and you're kind of getting that experience while learning a ton, sort of like a classroom setting, which is I find really valuable just because you have more of a purpose to what you're doing than just like solving this one equation and proving that it works out or something. It's like really tangible. I really like that. So yeah, that's all I had planned to talk about. But thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you around campus sometime.